Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, you guys? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you with your NXT review on Thursday, January 16th, 2020. Show happened last night. I watched it this afternoon after I came home from school. I saw the Pete Dunne, Matt Riddle versus Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster match last night. Talk about perfect tag team wrestling, man. Just old professional 2-on-2 tag team wrestling. This match was absolutely incredible, and I'm going to go over why this match was absolutely incredible and could be another 5-star tag team match, in my opinion. We had the Time Splitters, Kushida and Alex Shelley versus the Grizzled Young Veterans, Zach Gibson and James Drake in the semifinal in the first round, in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Same with the other match. We had a great triple threat match with Isaiah Swerve Scott, Lio Rush, and Tyler Breeze. And then we had a great Battle Royal to close the show to determine who is going to face Rhea Ripley at NXT TakeOver Portland. But before I start talking about NXT, make sure you guys go check out last night's AEW Dynamite review as I talk about everything that happened on the show. 28 minutes. It's definitely worth your time. And I'm not really going to go into it now, but from the bottom of my heart, man, I reached 1,000 followers on Twitter tonight. I was smiling from ear to ear for at least an hour. In my joy, I completed a milestone I've never thought I would complete. And we got to 1,000 followers. And I could not be any happier. I am ecstatic. We are at 1,015 followers. So, from the bottom of my heart, for all the people who follow me, I want to thank you. I want to thank you a lot. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I'm really glad that I got to talk to a lot of people on Twitter and be friends with them, because some of them make my day. They really do. And I can't wait to meet more in 2020. And we are now on the road to 5,000 followers, hopefully really soon. I'm just going to celebrate right now that I'm at 1,000 followers. But I'll talk about this more on Sunday's News and Rumors video. But I want to dive right into NXT. I don't want to waste any much time. So we had a Keith Lee come out, cut a promo. The number one contender for the North American Championship. He said 2019 has been a great year for the Undisputed Era. They fulfilled their prophecy and got all the gold that they wanted. They run NXT, but their limit is up, and Keith Lee is never limitless. So the crowd cheers for that. They chant, "Oh, bask in His glory. Oh, bask in His glory." Love that chant, man. I love that chant. And then the Undisputed Era, they come out and they say that this past year they've taken out Velveteen Dream, Tommaso Ciampa, Imperium, and Keith Lee's next. So they go attack Keith Lee. Everybody gets their moves in. Roderick Strong gets a steel chair, puts it around Keith Lee's ankle, stomps right on the chair, and it really damages Keith Lee's ankle. Tommaso Ciampa comes out. He attacks the Undisputed Era and helps Keith Lee. This was a nice way to start the show. I thought doing that injury angle with Keith Lee was nice. And obviously next week, the story is going to be that angle. When it's Roderick Strong and Keith Lee for the NXT North America Championship next week, that's going to be a great match, man. I cannot wait to see that next week on NXT. But we get into the matches of the night, and we start off with the Broserweights, Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle versus Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster in the first round matchup in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament. Let me just say, I think I said this on Sunday's NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2 review, but Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster have really grown on me in the past couple months and are becoming one of my favorites in NXT UK. They are a great tag team. They have great chemistry together, and they are two wonderful professional wrestlers. I can't say enough good things about them. They're only going to get better in 2020. And I can't wait to see them get another tag team title reign. And they put on a show with Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle in this match. This was incredible. This match was absolutely incredible from start to finish. My only argument with this is that it had 2 commercials, and I didn't really like that this match had 2 commercials. I think they could let at least one, or at least a commercial free for the first match. But besides that, man, they did some crazy shit to each other. They did the freaking Mark Andrews with the 450s and the Canadian Destroyer and the suicide and the double swanton bomb to the outside from Andrews and Webster. Matt Riddle with a couple knee strikes, bro to sleeps, suplexes, very creative roll-ups, drama, you name it, man. This match had freaking everything you could ask for out of tag team wrestling. Full Sail was so invested into this, so invested, and this was, it could go down. Just like last night's Fatal 4-Way match, I truly do think it could go down as one of the better tag team matches of 2020 so far. It was freaking phenomenal. Closing moments of the match, you had Pete Dunne take out Flash Morgan Webster. You had Mark Andrews do a 450. Matt Riddle gave him an elbow, and then you got the combination of the bitter end into the knee from Matt Riddle. 1, 2, 3. Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne go on to the finals of the Dusty Tag Team Classic Tournament. Again, this was such an incredible match. This is like classic old school tag team wrestling 101. 2-on-2 versus 2-on-2. Just incredible stuff with Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle getting the win. And now they will go on to the semifinals to face Imperium next week on NXT, which again should be a great match. I can't wait for that. We then had Tommaso Ciampa come out. Tommaso Ciampa came out. He talked about how he wants Goldie back. He wants his life back. Adam Cole took away his life from him. The Undisputed Era basically just came out, dropped the titles, and attacked Tommaso Ciampa. Moments later, Johnny Gargano comes out. He attacks the Undisputed Era. Bobby Fish is in the ring on his load. DIY hit their finisher move that they used to do on Bobby Fish, and they stood side by side, and we got ourselves a DIY reunion. This was very emotional. I love Johnny and Ciampa. This was great stuff. They're going to go on to Worlds collide to represent NXT to face Mustache Mountain, which very well could be the match of the night in my opinion. But I think this felt a little rushed. I really do. I don't want to be negative here, but this felt rushed in my opinion, and like I don't understand why they didn't involve this in the opening segment with Keith Lee. They couldn't have Gargano come out and save Ciampa. But it was really good anyway, and I'm really looking forward to the DIY Mustache Mountain match at Worlds Collide. We then got the other semi-final match. Oh my god. First round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic with the Time Splitters, Kushida and Alex Shelley versus the Grizzled Young Veterans and Zach Gibson and James Drake. You want to talk about legit heel heat, folks? On this evening, last night, James Drake and Zach Gibson, they got legit heat from the crowd. They got legit heat by ruining the reunion of Kushida and Alex Shelley by defeating them and Alex Shelley taking the pin and then refusing to shake their hands at the end of the match, saying, "We didn't come all the way to America to shake hands. We came to fight, and soon we'll be the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic winners." They got legit heel heat. This was a massive upset in my opinion. I actually did think that Kushida and Alex Shelley were going to get the win. But the match was great. The crowd was fully into it. Again, another great tag team match on NXT. We had Alex Shelley open up with James Drake. A couple exchanges. Kushida comes in. He elbows James Drake. They do some little technical wrestling. Kushida does a suicide dive on the top outside. They go to commercial. Alex Shelley gets beat up by the Grizzled Young Veterans for a little bit. Kushida comes in, gets a hot tag, and a move that Kushida does that I absolutely love, and it looks picture perfect, is that jumping hoverboard into an armbar. That is picture perfect and one of the most underrated moves in NXT in my opinion. I loved it. His offense is wonderful to watch. Kushida is one of the most underrated wrestlers I think in NXT. You got Kushida, you got Cameron Grimes, who's very underrated. You got Damian Priest, you got Isaiah Scott, and you got who was I thinking of? I'm not sure. I'm not going to waste any time with it, but Kushida's a very underrated wrestler. At the end, Kushida was on the top rope going for his finisher. Zach Gibson pushes Kushida into the barricade. They do the code breaker looking finisher. I'm not sure what it's called, but Grizzled Young Veterans get the win. And like I said earlier, they get legit heel heat from the crowd, and they move on to the semifinals to face the Undisputed Era next week on NXT. Now, since next week the semifinals are taking place, does anybody know if the finals are taking place at the Worlds Collide tournament pay-per-view? If you guys know, can you please comment down below? I would really appreciate it, because I'm thinking it could happen at Worlds Collide. It could happen at TakeOver Tampa. But with the whole NXT UK thing happening, I could see it doing at Worlds Collide, and the finals being Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle versus the Grizzled Young Veterans with Imperium, costing the Undisputed Era the match versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. I could actually see that. In fact, I'm going to predict that next week the Grizzled Young Veterans are going to defeat the Undisputed Era because of Imperium, and then later on in the night, Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle are going to defeat Imperium because of the Undisputed Era's interference. So they're going to one-up each other next week. I feel it. Triple threat match. Winner would be one of the three competitors in the Fatal 4-Way match at Worlds Collide. We have Isaiah Scott versus Tyler Breeze versus Lio Rush, and this was awesome. This was an awesome triple threat match. Lots of drama, lots of high stakes, and at the end, Isaiah Swerve Scott pulls out the big victory and will go on to Worlds Collide to be in the Fatal 4-Way match with Angel Garza, and the other four in the match will either be Travis Banks versus Brian Kendrick. We're getting that, and then I think Travis Banks versus Brian Kendrick, and Ligero versus Jordan Devlin. And those two winners are going to be in the Fatal 4-Way at Worlds Collide. So I think it's going to be Travis Banks and Jordan Devlin in the match, along with Isaiah Scott and Angel Garza. And that could very well steal the show. I said earlier that DIY and Mustache Mountain might be the match of the night, but this could be the show stealer right here. You might want to look out for that. More on Worlds Collide next week on the Big Fight Field channel. But this was a great match. Lots of great spots in this match. Like, you got Tyler Breeze suplexing Lio Rush into the ring, and at the same time, Swerve is giving Tyler Breeze a German suplex. So that was a really great spot. We got Lio Rush standing on the apron, Isaiah Swerve Scott doing a dive on the outside. Lio Rush does a backflip, and Isaiah Swerve Scott lands on his feet at the same time. So that was a really cool sequence. Tyler Breeze putting on a really good performance, beauty shots, Hurricane Rana's DDTs. And the finish of the match came where Lio Rush hit a frog splash onto Tyler Breeze, and Swerve hit a move on the Lio Rush to take him out of the equation, and Swerve hits the jumping hook kick onto Tyler Breeze. 1, 2, 3. Isaiah Swerve Scott is going to the Worlds Collide to face Angel Garza and two NXT UK wrestlers for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Should be a great match at Worlds Collide. The Women's Battle Royal main event. Now, I don't know all the competitors in the match because I didn't write it down, but the main ones we had were Casey Catanzaro, Tegan Knox, Bianca Belair, Mia Yim, Candice LeRae, Io Shirai, Mercedes Martinez, Shotzi Blackheart, Kaden Carter, Santana Garrett, Catalina. Can I think of any more? I don't remember, but I'm just going to go right to the final 7, because I will admit I was doing a little bit of homework during this match so that I wouldn't be all crammed in during tonight, but it's all good. I'm going to go right to the final 7 because that's where stuff started to pick up and get really good. So we had Belair, Yim, LeRae, Knox, Shirai, Shayna Baszler, Mercedes Martinez, and Shotzi Blackheart, but she was on the outside of the ring, so we got an exchange from Candice LeRae and Bianca Belair. Goes on to the close to the ring apron. LeRae is standing on the apron, and Belair gives LeRae an elbow and throws her into the ring post. So out goes Candice LeRae. Bianca Belair has eliminated Candice LeRae for a huge elimination. Bianca doing some smack talk, and then we had Mia Yim going at it with Mercedes Martinez back and forth. Mercedes got the upper hand. She tosses out Mia Yim. Adios, Mia Yim. She's out of the match. Mercedes Martinez, by the way, I thought looked really good in this match. And by the looks of it, she is going to be a huge player in the NXT women's division. I find it bizarre how AEW did not sign this woman to a contract after she appeared on, I believe, 2 AEW Dark shows. She looked pretty good in both of them. And they did not sign her. They did not sign her to a contract, which I was shocked. They didn't sign her to a contract. NXT scooped her up and put her in the women's division. She's a big player. So, good things will probably be happening with Mercedes Martinez in the future. Then, after Yim eliminates, hold on. After Yim gets eliminated, Mercedes Martinez goes at it with Shayna Baszler. Okay, so yeah, after that, Mercedes Martinez, she's facing off with Shayna Baszler, and they go at it for a little bit, elbows, kicks. Mercedes gets a little offense on her. Shayna puts her in the Karafuda clutch and tosses her to the outside of the ring. Mercedes Martinez eliminated from the Women's Battle Royal. And then we're down to 4. We're down to Tegan Nox, Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, and Bianca Belair. The heels are all ganging up on Nox. Nox gets away from it and goes to the top, and Dakota Kai comes out from backstage and pushes her off the top rope, and Tegan Nox has been eliminated. I saw it coming from a mile away. I also thought Dakota Kai was supposed to be in the match, but apparently since Tegan Nox was in it, they decided to take out Dakota Kai and not put her in there. I'll give my opinion on her after I talk about the finish of the match. But after Tegan Nox has been eliminated, Shotzi Blackheart, yes, Shotzi Blackheart from Evolve Wrestling, comes back in the ring and tosses out Shayna Baszler. So a freaking rookie and Shotzi Blackheart has just eliminated Shayna Baszler. A huge moment for her. Props to Shayna for having her being put over Shotzi in this situation. She was super over with the crowd chanting her name. Shayna looking disappointed. Shayna's last match in NXT before, she eventually is going to win the Royal Rumble match. And then Bianca Belair tosses her out. Crowd boos. Bianca stares off with Io Shirai, and crowd is chanting for Io. They get a couple good exchanges, elbows, kicks, Bianca lifting her up, and then we got them two fighting on the ring apron for a little bit, coming back in the ring, Belair trying to hit the EST, Shirai counters it into a kick, Shirai goes to the top, nails a move onto Bianca, and then Bianca gets a move on her later. I'm not sure what it was. I don't remember, but the finish came where Bianca had Io up for the EST, and she threw Io Shirai out of the ring. And it was pretty far too, actually. She actually threw her pretty far out the ring, which is very impressive. And Bianca Belair is the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship and will challenge Rhea Ripley at NXT TakeOver Portland. Now, we all know that Bianca's not going to win at NXT TakeOver Portland. That's a fact. She is not beating Rhea Ripley whatsoever. I would have had Dakota Kai win this. I feel like Bianca has already lost to Rhea Ripley twice. She lost to her in a singles match, and then she got pinned by her in a 6-woman tag. I think it was last week on NXT. Yeah, it was last week. She got pinned by Rhea Ripley in a 6-woman tag last week on NXT. So I would have had Dakota Kai win this Battle Royal, have her go on to Portland to challenge Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship, and then I would have had Tegan Nox make her return and attack Dakota Kai and cost her the Women's Championship at TakeOver Portland to set up the big match WrestleMania weekend. But who knows? Maybe we're going to get it at TakeOver Portland. That's just my opinion on what I thought should have happened in the match. But overall, a great Battle Royal to end the show. And overall, a fantastic episode of NXT in my opinion. Both AEW and NXT killed it this week. And at the end of the day, we just want great wrestling shows. And we definitely get that from AEW and NXT. That's going to do it for this NXT review. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. Next week is going to be a crazy week. We got AEW Wednesday, NXT Thursday, and then I believe Worlds Collide predictions Friday, Royal Rumble predictions Saturday, and then we got reviews for Worlds Collide and the Royal Rumble coming your way next week. So it's going to be a busy week. Lots of content coming up right here on the Big Fight Field channel. You're not going to want to miss it. Like this video with a super kick. Comment down below what you thought of this week's episode of NXT. Follow me on Twitter at Joseph Conlon. Follow Eddie on Twitter at Eddie Mullins. And once again, thank you guys for getting me to 1,000 followers. I'll be talking about it on Sunday's News and Rumors video. And until then, I'll see you guys on Sunday for News and Rumors. Have a great night, guys.